Today we're heading to the Sharjah Academy for Astronomy, Space Sciences and Technology, which was established in 2015 as a national development project to contribute to the space sector developments in the UAE, and it truly is a scientific, educational and cultural centre. Today I'll be meeting and discussing with Dr. Ata Al-Mannan Ja'far, Head of the Department of Applied Physics and Astronomy at the College of Science, University of Sharjah, as well as one of the leading figures at the Sharjah Academy for Astronomy, Space Sciences and Technology. So please tell us about yourself. Who is Dr. Ata?
My name is Ata Al-Mannan Ja'far. I am Sudanese by origin, and currently I'm a professor of applied physics at the Department of Applied Physics and Astronomy at the University of Sharjah, and happens to be the chairman of the department right now. Married, alhamdulillah. I have a family, 3 daughters and a son, all grown up, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. I have lived in many places. I grew up in Sudan, my home country, but I spent time in England as a student, studying at university there, and then I spent some time in Sweden, also doing my PhD and graduate studies, and then working after that for almost 5 years. And then I joined the Qatar University for 5 more years. And then I joined the University of Sharjah in 2006 as an associate professor. And hopefully I'll stay here for the rest of my days, if God willing. I would like to stay. That should be home.
That's interesting to say that, because we find that most people who come to Sharjah, who live in Sharjah, and the UAE in general, but obviously specifically Sharjah, that they don't want to go back home. It becomes their new home, doesn't it?
I think so, but I think it's the English saying that home is where the heart is. I think home for people like me who've been moving around quite a lot and living in different places for long periods of time, is really where you are comfortable, where you have a decent quality of life, and where you feel happy. I think this is the definition of home. I think the old nationalistic definition of home has changed in the last, I would say, 5 or 10 years. I think now is home where you are safe and where you're happy. And definitely as a family, not just myself, I think as a family, this is where we're happy and where we're safe. So it's, and it has been home now for the last, I would say, 15 years. So it's probably the longest time I spend in one place in my life, which is quite amazing.
It is definitely, and again, it just shows how much Sharjah has become, has become special to so many people.
Definitely, and it's not just my own feeling. I mean, I've been talking to, and discussing this with many friends and colleagues, and I think the sentiment is the same for all of them. It is a place where they are absolutely happy, the place where they are absolutely safe, and I think if the chance is given and if the opportunity comes for any of them to stay here forever, they will do that. I'm sure of it.
What are the places in Sharjah that you like the most?
I would say rather historical places and museums, because it's really part of my interest, plus part of my work, because as an applied physicist, I do a lot of work with archaeologists. and we work on analyzing archaeology artifacts, and we have a whole science-based techniques called archaeometry, where we study artifacts and so on. So I have a personal interest in history, plus my professional interest. So museums attract me quite strongly. So I would say museums in Sharjah.
And that's actually really good that you're in Sharjah, because we know that Sharjah is like absolutely known for its culture, and it's just full of museums, isn't it?
Exactly. I think that beside the natural, historical and archaeological sites which are in Sharjah, of course, everyone knows His Highness is a historian, and he has a personal interest in history, and I think that added to the overall interest of the emirate, and to the overall interest of the specialists and the historians, and I think Sharjah is a hub when it comes to museums, when it comes to history, when it comes to archaeology, and it has developed quite immensely in the last few years. Now we have a museum of history of Islamic art. We have a museum of archaeology, and we have other museums. So I think I would say museums are my thing. This is where I find myself, and I take my family usually, and anyone who visits us in Sharjah, to go and see the museums.
And like we've said before on this show, you know, Sharjah is literally known as the capital of culture. It won an award for such.
Exactly.
So definitely that's the best place to be if you're looking for
Yes.
museums and culture.
Yes,
Another question I have is, did you face any kind of cultural challenges? And of course, you know, as you mentioned earlier, you're originally from Sudan, so there's obviously some similarities. But did you come across any cultural challenges, or did you find it very easy just to blend in?
Not really. It was absolutely very, very easy. It's to assimilate and to become part of this metropolitan kind of city, because Sharjah it has, I would say, nationalities from all over the world, and they coexist very easily together, and they fit very easily together. But since my origin is from Sudan, my cultural background and my cultural base is very similar to UAE and to Sharjah. Cultural habits, mannerisms, of course, religion is always a tying cultural thread. So no, I wouldn't say any difficulties whatsoever, because I think even the Europeans and people coming from other cultures, they assimilate quite easily in Sharjah. I think it's.
Yeah, I was going to say Sharjah is an amazing place, like you said, to assimilate, and everyone feels at home in Sharjah.
Exactly.
One other question I have now, obviously, initially you came over from, you know, here to Sharjah for the purposes of working.
Yes.
But what else would you say, apart from obviously you mentioned museums, what else kept you in Sharjah apart from work?
Well, to be honest, when I visited Sharjah before I came to work, I visited Sharjah year 2000, and I visited again the year 2005. And I had, and I still have a lot of friends who came here very early on in the 80s. We have some family members who were here from the 70s. So I knew about Sharjah even before I came here. But I think what attracted me to work in Sharjah, actually I had two other offers at different universities. But I selected Sharjah because of family life, what it can offer me in terms of an environment for my family where they're 100% safe, uninterrupted. It's a really safe, family-oriented place where you go to work, you come back from work, your children are playing outside or playing in the parks or whatever. You are 100% sure they're safe. This is something I think for every family man. This is probably the primal objective that you look for is family life, and how secure and how safe it is for your family. So I think this is probably the main feature that really attracted me, beside the job itself and what it can offer.
And I think that's a pretty much a very repeated story we see with so many people with Sharjah and the UAE, that they said exactly, and I'm one of them,
Yes.
feel exactly what you said on why they love, and they cannot see Sharjah or the UAE anywhere else but Sharjah as being their home.
Exactly, and I am one of people. I lived and studied in many places. I lived, of course, in Sudan. That's my home country. But I lived in England where I was a student. I lived in Sweden. I visited cities all over the world. The level of security and the level of peace you get in Sharjah, I think it's unparalleled. Quite honestly. I would say a few cities and a few places around the world come close in terms of you go to bed at night and you sleep and you don't have to worry about anything until you wake up in the next morning. That's a big blessing. I think a lot of people don't really realize.
Definitely.
Yes.
Now, as you said, you've been here for 15 years. So your field of physics, as you mentioned earlier, you must have seen a big improvement where we're walking now, for example, the Space Center. So if you could tell us how you've seen Sharjah specifically develop in physics and physics-related fields.
The development is amazing. It's of course the development encompasses the whole country because of the plans set by the leadership of the country, which is really progressive and very forward thinking. But I think especially for Sharjah, because I have been personally involved in it, the development in science and technology, and especially in physics and astronomy and astrophysics, it's unbelievable. It's really, the progress is really amazing. I'll just give you some numbers. When I joined in 2006 the University of Sharjah, we had a small unit, not a department, a small unit, service unit, that was basically teaching fundamental courses, physics courses to engineering students and other science courses. Then very quickly, within 2008, we suddenly had a College of Science instead of College of Arts and Sciences, and we had a Department of Physics that at that time had about 6 professors and about 6 instructors. Today, we have a full-fledged department that has 31 faculty members. It is running 5 programs, a bachelor in applied physics, a bachelor in petroleum geophysics and remote sensing, a bachelor, an MSc in physics, and an MSc in astronomy and space sciences, and an MSc in GIS and remote sensing. So we're talking about a period of only 15 years. That's an incredible development within the academic programs and academic plans. But that was also reflected, or it was to answer for the need for physicists from the whole society. We actually graduated physicists who are now working in places like the Space Center here, of course, but also working in the forensic labs in Dubai police. They're working in different companies. Some of them are abroad doing their master and PhD studies. So the field of science and of physics and of astronomy has expanded so fast because also of the UAE space program, which was announced in 2012 and culminated in the Mars, of course.
Of course, and then we have the launch, and like you said, we've seen that there has been such a big and fast progression.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes, it's amazing, Sharjah, the UAE in general, the progression that is done, in many times is incomparable to many other nations. It's really hard to find a similar success story like Sharjah and like the UAE. And like you said here, we just have this amazing space center. And I believe you're involved to quite an important level within the Space Center. So maybe you can give us a bit of a briefing about the Space Center
Yes,
and how that came about.
the Space Center was the brainchild of His Highness and of Professor Hamid al-Naimi, the Chancellor of the university. And the idea was in the beginning to have a space center that will just be educational and do some research. But very quickly people realized the success of it, and it fully developed from a simple space center into an academy. So right now this is called the Sharjah Academy for Astronomy and Space Sciences and Technology. So it's a full-fledged academy that offers master's programs and offers training programs and offers research opportunities. And it is linked to the university and linked to the Department of Applied Physics and Astronomy and linked to the College of Sciences through the mutual exchange of faculty, of students, of programs. So we are part of the academy in a sense, and the academy is part of us. It's a continuous collaboration and cooperation between the two institutes.
I mean, I've been in there myself, and it's amazing. You know, it's
Exactly. Yes.
The exhibitions or the exhibits, and they're amazing. The
Yes.
cinema movies we see about space are amazing, and I believe there's also sometimes even NASA come over and run programs and do student programs and student camps, space camps in the summer and these kind of things.
Yes, I think the center is really very active, and I commend the people who are running the academy now on the activities they do. They have well established programs, either research programs or academic teaching and training programs with Japan, with the USA, with Russia, with other countries, where, as you said, they develop together either training programs or research, mostly research. And we're also lucky that we are linked to the European space program. They have very good connections to Leicester University and to universities in Germany. So the center is not just an educational institution anymore. It's really a place of learning and a place of serious research. I mean, I believe in the last 2 or 3 days there was a lot of news, a lot of discoveries made here in the center that was attracting a lot of attention from the public and from the specialists around the world.
Also, something that pops to mind, of course, which is obviously interconnected, definitely to physics, is the whole nuclear energy. And we know, obviously, in Sharjah University as well, they run, to my knowledge, the only fully blown or fully fledged bachelor's in nuclear engineering.
Yes,
which is
again,
obviously connected to physics, of course.
Definitely. It's one of the programs that were developed at the university, again, to answer the need posed by the UAE government when they announced the establishment of nuclear reactors for peaceful use and peaceful generation of electricity. And of course, that immediately created a demand for engineers who are specialized in this field, and that's why there was a Bachelor of Nuclear Engineering that was created. But also, even in our program, because part of the work related to nuclear reactors is not just for engineers. There is a lot of work related to radiation safety, related to maintaining the actual reactors, and a lot of that work is done by physicists, and that also created a demand for physicists who are specialized and who are trained in nuclear techniques and in radiation techniques and so on.
So then we can really see, like you mentioned, not only has Sharjah really developed itself and made great progression in physics, they've now made this great progression, in the nuclear industry.
Yes, I think
training the new generation of nuclear engineers and scientists in the UAE coming from Sharjah.
Exactly, and also I would say the other big development was in renewable energies. Sharjah was a leading factor to try to utilize renewable energy, solar energy, for example, for buildings and for creating power. If you drive around a few of the Sharjah streets, you will see all these lamps with a solar cell on top of them. You will see if you go and drive across along the airport road, you will see a lot of these cameras. The speed cameras actually are powered by by solar cells.
Yeah.
So Sharjah was very early on one of the places that realized the advantages of renewable energies and applied them, especially solar energy. Of course, this is in inclusion to what has been happening in the rest of the country, but I think Sharjah was very early on in trying to create energy from alternative sources, either from solar energy or from biogas in the old rubbish dump, if I might call it that, where they will actually convert all the rubbish into actual gas, biogas that could be used for renewable energy as a renewable energy source.
It's interesting you mentioned, of course, again, how Sharjah is pioneering this, and we see now that it's been developed and it's coming up, fast. Is the Sharjah Research Technology Park, I believe it's called.
Yes. I think that's one of the great developments, which is the next step in the process of bridging between academia and the industry, is to create these incubation institutes where the ideas developed from research in the universities can become actual products in the market, and they can be patented and produced. So usually this needs a place for incubation of these ideas, of creating small businesses, of utilizing all these creative ideas into a product. So I think Sharjah, the natural progress of science and technology, is that now we're coming to the stage where there is a lot of ideas being created at academic institutions that should be treated and changed and formulated into products. And this is where this science and engineering parts come into play.
And just the fact you mentioned all of that, we can see again that Sharjah has pioneered in this aspect. I mean, if I remember correctly, if it's not it's one of the most, if not the only places in the Middle East, or the leading, that will have such a research and technology and innovation dedicated area.
Exactly.
And even worldwide, there's many people who don't have that kind of thing. So we can see again that Sharjah has really put itself on the map and taken the lead in many aspects.
I think so, and I think also what Sharjah is really good at is integrating all of this into one, and also all of these facilities are placed very close together, so the communication is easier. So if you look around Sharjah, you will see that most of the educational research and business incubation and all of this really is just in almost one place. And that helps quite a lot, because then the communication between these three players, if I would call them, academia, industry, and the incubation institutes, is within reach. So it's easier to distribute the knowledge, it's easier to share the knowledge, it's easier to collaborate, if that's the correct way.
Yep, definitely. Great, fantastic. So, Doctor, what were your expectations before coming to Sharjah, and what were your impressions when you actually arrived in Sharjah?
The expectations, to be honest, were not so great, in the sense that I came to Sharjah from Qatar University.
Okay.
So I was in the region, and I was familiar more or less about the region and its facilities and so on. But when I actually arrived and became part of the university and part of the city, I was amazed. My expectations suddenly grew and grew and grew, because I saw the facilities which are available at the university. I saw the welcome of the people, either within the university or within Sharjah itself. I saw the development which was happening very rapidly. I mean, I think I arrived just when things were changing quite fast and quite quickly. So I would say my expectations were met and exceeded slightly, although in the beginning they were not really very, very great.
And it's interesting you say that because, like you mentioned, 15 years ago, Sharjah University was obviously present, but it was still developing, it was still growing, as well as Sharjah. So it's that shows you on what Sharjah has always been, fastly developing, getting better and better. That you were actually, as you said, your impressions were, superseded what you expected, and that was back then. So imagine what somebody coming to Sharjah now feels.
Exactly, and I think also it is we as humans, we don't see the full picture. We see the now. We don't see the future. Yeah. Unlike, I think, the leadership of Sharjah. I think the leadership of Sharjah, His Highness personally, he had a master plan. It wasn't clear for everyone. I would say it's like a jigsaw puzzle. He had the whole jigsaw puzzle. We were only seeing pieces of it into place one by one by one by one. Because if you look just at the urban development in Sharjah, when you go back 15 years ago, a lot of the places which are around, for example, the university city, around Sharjah airport, all these places, they were not there. They're absolutely not there. It was just sand everywhere. But he had the vision. He could see the future in a sense. We didn't. So when the change came, and it was really rapid, as I said, and you saw all these jigsaw puzzles being put into place, this is where the wonder comes, and where people think, okay, it cannot be better than this. But the next year it gets better, and then you say, well, it cannot be better than this. I mean, when I joined the university, I thought that's it. We will be 6 professors teaching 500 students. Today, just my department teaches 3,100 students every semester. And no one, I think anyone would lie if they say they saw this coming. So the future is I would say, is limitless, based on the last 15 years. The expansion is very rapid, and anyone who quite honestly says they're sure 100% what will be tomorrow, I don't think they will be truthful about it. I think things are changing very rapidly and improving all the time.
Definitely, we can see continuous progress and development for sure.
Exactly. Yes. And it's on all aspects. This is the thing. It's not really one thing you can put your hand on and say, well, this is developing. If you look at every aspect of life, which you don't really, because you get familiar with it. Yeah. We get very familiar with that now. Just simple things like ordering online. This is something now, for example, Sharjah Co-op, until 2 years ago, you had to go there yourself and get your stuff, yes? Now you actually go on your mobile phone and you order your foodstuffs. Who thought 2 years ago that this was going to happen? Exactly. So I think that the changes are on all aspects of life and the development, and I would say that the ultimate aim is to provide a better life quality for everyone living in Sharjah. And I think that is being fulfilled, definitely. And it's improving every day.